Welcome everybody. Today we'll go over the latest update for ADTBreakoutBox strategy. I'll cover the updates and new features along with some playback of the previous week using the two HPS channels and the ADT Discord server. This strategy was specifically built to use those two channels. It's a simple concept. When a price breaks above the buy level, it will enter a long ATM position. Same with the sell level. Once the price breaks below, it will enter a short ATM position. You can specify the ATM strategy on the chart trader now, and one of the newer features is it no longer waits until the bar close. It will take a position once it crosses the level. You'll see it in action later on. Alright, so new features. One of the biggest feature is one-click set. Instead of clicking the buy or the sell level button, and then clicking the chart where you want to place the level, and then hitting the waiting button again to set it, it's now just one click. So when we hit this, and then wherever we want to set the buy level, and click once, it automatically sets it, no more having to hit the button again to set it. Another feature is now the levels can be adjusted. So you can do it straight from the chart, or you can also modify them here in the text box. Once you specify the level you want, if you hit enter, it will change it. Another feature is now, if you specify both the buy and the sell level, there is a new region that gets drawn. By default it's blue, but you can change that in the properties. But this means that the strategy is now activated. In order for this to trigger, you need both the buy and the sell level specified. Otherwise, it will not take a position. So a few changes are in the properties. I need to go over those. So one, the disable after one trade. This is on by default. What this means is if you enter a trade, let's just say a long trade, it will disable the long position. So these two are buttons, and they will automatically disable once it gets into either a long or a short position. You can re-enable those very simply on the chart, but just note by default, that way it doesn't continue to take trades without you knowing. I do have a different mode right now. It's in the most stable, just by default. It's called DPI mode. This is just a way for the mouse clicks to get captured. I do have a different mode, so in case you do have any issues with it just displaying different values, just uncheck this box and it should work for you. A few other things with theming. So you can now specify the colors here. The new region, when it gets drawn, by default it's just dark blue. You can also set the opacity. If you set this to 0, then it will just not plot the region. So if you just don't like that feature, you can disable it here. And then the font size for these buttons. Everybody's chart's a little bit different. It depends on if you have larger or smaller screens, or if you have multiple charts up. You can modify the size of the font of these buttons. So if you make it smaller, larger, just kind of fit it to whatever you have. So just a little bit more customizable. All right, let's run through some playback. So I will just pick a handful of these. We're not going to do every single one just for the sake of time. Mostly just want to show how to use and set the levels, and kind of how I would approach these two different channels. On the left here, we just have the high probability, right? So the high probability is all of these guys, and then these are the HPS 24/7. They're similar, but they are just, as far as volatility goes, I mean, NQ can always be just absolute crazy on the open, so you have to be very careful with this. So I will kind of showcase a few trades. Again, these are more so for scalps. You do want to keep an eye on this. Now, the ATM strategies that I'm going to use for the NQ For the intraday, actually for both of these, I'm just going to use just this blitz. It's a really just tight scalp. I have a large stop, but I do that just so I can modify it in real time. So, because obviously I don't want it to get to 120 ticks if I'm only looking for 12. But it's there just so I can place it above a certain high or a low of a previous candle. So, gives me some flexibility. And besides NQ with that much of a profit, it should get to that pretty quickly. So um, for the gold, it's actually the same exact one. Again, I'm just going to take this and modify it accordingly. So with that, let's just run through, and I'm only going to do, just like I said, a handful, just so we can get an idea um, of how to set this and how it just operates. So I will be fast forwarding the video, just kind of skip to these times. So the first one is going to be, it's a Sunday. Looks like it was a, so yeah, Sunday 7:28. Looks like an NQ. So let's go there. All right. So we're at 6:53. Just go ahead and start this because Jim posted this at 7:28, just trying to make this as real as possible. And again, the idea is you want this price to be inside the breakout box. So we have the buy level at 20, 90, 10. So in order to set this, you want to hit the buy level. And let's go to 20, 90, 10, get it pretty close. And hit enter to change it. Or you can always just move it up and down to set it. Same thing for the sell level. Sell, we're at 28.65. So 28.60. Of course, it's not going to want me to do that. So let me just modify here, enter. Now, since the region is drawn, this is live. So when this pretty much touches either one of these levels, it's going to get into this ATM template. It will not do this one. All of this up here is just the default chart trader. So just know that that is not. This is great if you want to go ahead and edit the strategy, but this is the one that the strategy is going to be listening to. So with that, let's just start this and we'll see. And I do have the checkbox to disable the trades, just like that. See, that's looking pretty bad. And typical NQ. So all of that to just get, what was it, 12, 16 ticks for 2 contracts. It was a winner, but there was a massive pullback. Since that checkbox, it automatically disabled shorts. Now we're approaching the longs. See if it gets in. See, that would have been really bad. Oh, we're in. It's going to keep that. All right, there it is. So this ended up being really good. Again, we're not looking for much. These are just scalps, and this is again on a Sunday. This was around 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I'm going to fast forward to the next one, which will be the following morning. All right, so I fast forwarded to Monday morning, and we have an NQ. Was posted at 9:15 a.m. So I stopped right at 9:15 so I can explain a little bit. But yeah, the buy is at 21,062, sells at 29.87, and this is a perfect example because this happens a lot. It's not every day, but it does happen quite a bit. So I want to explain it. Jim will usually like to post these. You can see the times are very consistent. Sometimes it will be a little bit later on, so you have to be quick. However, he will post these, and the price sometimes will not be in the breakout box initially. So I'm gonna go ahead and set these. So 21,062, 21. Let's see, it's way down here, and the sell is 29.87. Enter. There we go. That's a breakout. Now it looks pretty big here, but this is this is NQ, so it won't take much for the NQ to get in here and then bounce out. So again, I'm just going to keep the blitz going, but this is currently above the level. So if I continue to have this enabled, once the price hits one tick below this level and then bounces out, it's going to get into a position. So that's not good in this situation because we want this price to come inside here. Kind of leave it up to you guys. I like to see it uh, kind of around this area. I like to see it close as well. I'm on the 1 minute bar. I like to see it close in here if possible. I want to say Jim will also like to see it more so in the middle of here, but I I just like to get in here. I don't want to be close up here, but I just want to be around here. So, and again, where I have a very tight scalp here, so it shouldn't take much if it does want to, bounce off of this and go. So with that, I'm just going to let this run, and once this gets in here, I'm going to enable. So for now, let's go ahead and disable this long. I'm going to keep the shorts enabled just because it's way down here, and that's fine. So, because if it just goes straight down, it'll get into a short. But the longs, I want this to get in before I enable the longs. So let's start this up, and I'm just going to have to kind of keep an eye on this until it closes inside here enough to make me convinced that it's hanging out here for a little bit. Just going to probably fast forward this until it gets close. There we go. So if I didn't have this disabled, it would have gotten into a long here, which might be okay. It might actually bounce a little bit, but just generally, I like to see it get a little bit more inside this box. So we'll kind of wait for. I want to make sure it close a few times. And never know. I mean, I might miss it, but that's okay. In Q, there's plenty of opportunities. Yeah, see that would have triggered for sure. There we go. I'd like to see that get in here a little bit more. Now since we've fully closed in here, I kind of want to see where this one lands too, because this high is still inside the breakout, so that'd be a really good sign. So if that closes still under, then I'm going to enable. There we go. So I'm going to enable here. So if it bounces out, then we're in a long position. Man, that came really close. It's a little too close for comfort. And we are approaching the open. Now it's the open, so who knows what's going to happen. Yeah, see, if I would have gotten it long, that would have been horrible. We'll see. I mean, we're not targeting much here, so. Oh, there we go. In and out. No, obviously it disabled the longs, but shorts are still there. And no one in queue. We might be going and testing a short here soon. But I'll go ahead and speed it up, and if we get close, I'll slow it down. See, that one had plenty of room for more profit, but it's not the goal here. All right, we're back in. Now here's a good spot. I want to actually go ahead and re-enable this because we came back in pretty far. So I went ahead and re-enabled this, and now we're back up. And so far with the 2 trades, and that should be plenty for most people, just at least for this one call. I mean, there's still a YM that I'm not even tracking right now, and we still have the shorts. So, and this will be not a bad area as well to re-enable, but I'm just going to keep it disarmed for now. See if we get a short out of this. Oh yeah, we got a short. It didn't quite hit. So this is where stop loss. Oh, never mind. I was actually going to move it down to the high of this bar if it didn't, just kind of get it just in case. But yeah, that one ended up winning as well. I mean, we can see if this comes back up a little bit more, I'll just re-enable the shorts and we'll get 2 trades out of this. Let's see a little more conviction here. You know, I could have done earlier. And maybe this hold up. Okay. That wasn't too bad for a bounce, but you know, I'm just going to leave that as it is. We're just going to move on to the next one. And that would be, let's actually get a gold. So a gold, I'm just going to fast forward to, I like this one for one. I actually took this live. So 3, 4, that's posted at 9:29 or 7:29. So let's go here. And again, I'm just using the same one. That's pretty small, but at least I can modify the stop loss level. All right. So he's got 2930.8. Looks like it's way up there. And then in the sell level, it is 2924.3. There it is. So we are active. Since we're inside, I'm just going to leave these both enabled. And let's see. And we are in a trade for short. My stop loss must be really way up there. Let's get rid of, bring that down. It's very possible, yeah, because it looks like we might be testing this. So I want to bring this down a little bit more. See if it goes beyond this high. That's what we do not want. Looks like we're getting close. Really close. And there it is. Not bad. Got 240 bucks. Now I'll just wait until if it comes back, which looks like that's not the case. Yep, knowing gold, it's, yeah, if I wasn't scalping and actually paying attention, you could probably follow this a little bit better. But because gold likes to be fairly directional. But yeah, that's that one. That's the HPS 24/7 and just the normal, you know, intraday HPS signals. Obviously, there's a lot more. Jim posts these daily, so just be on the lookout. This indicator was built just to take advantage of these calls. All right, with that, I'm just going to wrap it up here. Hopefully this gives you an idea of how to use the strategy, why it was built to, you know, take care of all of these HPS signals that Jim posts. And yeah, if you have any suggestions or if any questions getting started, please feel free to reach me either with a contact form on my website or the ADT Discord server. Both will be linked in the summary and the video. So just let me know. And this strategy does include a 14-day trial, so just kind of give it a try. If you're already a member through the ADT Discord server and you have access to these signals, then why not? I mean, this is a free 14-day. If it works for you, if you make some money out of it, so be it. I will have an updated page that will kind of have this indicator and more information because the previous pages were outdated. So I'm going to go ahead and update that. So by the time the video is released, all of that will be updated with more information. The pricing is there's two prices with it. You can either just again kind of test the waters with it. You don't have to fully commit. That's why I have a monthly option at $19.99 a month. But if it's one of those things that just brings you a lot of money, I mean, might as well just go ahead and buy the full-time license. There's no monthly cost. I don't want to set that one at $350. So if this is something you want, just feel free to look at the links below. If you're not part of the ADT Discord server, it's where I hang out a lot. You can ask me questions there. Then please feel free to join us. many other like-minded traders to take advantage of all of these trades that these guys offer. So with that, guys, take care. Have a good one.